Well, this next job is one of my least favorite. I gotta put all the bondo on it. This thing here's been bugging me, so I just knocked down some of those wells. I'm gonna fill this all up with bondo. I was hoping I'd have a nice little round line in there. I don't know what'll happen, but basically I've just put bondo on it in several places here. Any place it's like this is all low right here. I've already sanded it. I kind of filled it up around here in the window. Started mocking up the final shape, I guess you'd call it. This has all been knocked excuse me, knocked down. So I've just got 40 grit on the board. I'm not using a DA or anything. I'm just flat cutting this stuff off and put plenty on it. Sand it down. So that's my breathing bondo dust. Excuse me. You know, bondo dust not good for me. I had to get a mask. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to bondo this up best I can. Try to fill all my low spots. Knock it off with the board. And should be pretty straight. And then after that, I can take the DA to it and do a little fine trimming. But for now, just put a lot of bondo on it, and while it's still, not real hard, sand it off. Press on. First thing I'm going to do is this piece here. See what that looks like. Well, I got kind of bondo forced into the cracks there, and this piece here has got a lot of little stuff in it. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's pretty flat. So what I'm going to do, I've mixed this up. This is a thinner, plastic thinner, and I've mixed it up in here pretty good. You see it's pretty wet, and that'll help it spread better. So I'm going to try to just mix this up and put it up there on that big piece. Hopefully I can get it on there, and one thin coat, it'll save me a lot of sanding, but it's awfully runny, so it should stick well. I should have made a video of how to put this stuff on. There's a little bit of a trick to it, but you can see it's shiny, wet looking. I just use a small spreader, put it on there, just get it all on there, and then I used a 6-inch one, and then just straightened it all out. I can see a little low spot in it there, but there was a lot of wavy in this, but that filled everything. And once I hit it with a board sander, it'll cut it down and I'll be able to see my high spots and low spots. I got to fill it right here on the edge close to the door, but that's kind of how you use that body honey. You can make it really thin and use it almost like a glazing putty, but once it's down to this close, try to get as much of that bondo on there as you can, but you know, without, you don't want to waste it, of course, but you try to fill the whole thing, and make sure you don't have any air bubbles in it. So that looks pretty good. This is now kind of dry, so I'm going to take my board sander in here and run over this. This will knock the high spots out, so I can go ahead and put another coat on that. Hopefully we can get this part smooth. I took the flapper disc, went around this and knocked down all the metal that was high, and then I mixed up some of that real thin runny bondo, and I got it pretty much all filled up here. I started working on this a little bit, trying to fill some of these gaps. I know this whole side here has got to be filled up, but it looks pretty good. Kind of hard to tell right now because that stuff's really runny, but I think when I get in there with that board sander again, it'll straighten it all out. Ideally, I'll have just the round edge there. It looks like the metal's sticking up about right, so I'll kind of have a smooth round edge. This is about dry enough to, yeah, it's dry enough to start sanding on it. I'll trim that down a little, and I should have a fairly straight surface there. I'll work on this a little more after I sand it, and then I'll just try to do this whole door here in one shot. A couple shots, I maybe straighten the front out and then come back here and straighten out the back. I started putting a little bondo in here in my corners. They'll be good. Still a little bit of work to do in here. This one here is starting to work pretty good. Just takes time to get it straight. I still got to do more to the hood. I'll probably set you up with a tripod and show you how to put a super wet coat on there of this bondo stuff. Anyway, press on. Well, this is after several layers of sanding and putting stuff on. I had to work on this door crack here. I've got it pretty good. Looks like I still got some low down in there. I had to build this whole thing up because well, this was the worst door. I'm still not done with it, but I got that section pretty good. This up here is starting to look real good. It's pretty straight, so I keep moving back to the bad part. I'm about ready to run a sander across this, put another coat on it. It just painstaking, time consuming, so I can still see I need some more in the bottom. And this door was been in here, and it's kind of got a kink curve in it right there, so I'll probably have to build this up another 1/4 of an inch right in here, and where this is going down into the frame there, I'll have to do something with that. Anyway, this door took a while, and I'm still not done yet. You know, the trick is to go ahead and use 40 grit, let the sander do the work, and keep putting fresh sandpaper on. I had to take this kink out of here. I had to pound it and grind the door a little. That's why I've got this high spot. I can't really knock that down without closing my gap. I don't want that because that's where it hits. So the door's pretty straight. Now I'll mix up some more here and see what I could do about cleaning up this mess. Mr. Door is about done. I've made this piece here match the door. I have to bring it out a little more still. I had to bring the bottom of the door out, and then here I kind of had a debacle with the bottom of this door and this round pipe here. So I decided just to fill this up, make the door square across there, and then just taper this. Hope you could see any of that. Just taper this, fill this. So, but this is all good and straight across here. Door's closed tight. I'm gonna have this body line will be good. It'll fade back into here. Kind of used my DA right in here. This is all pretty smooth enough. I still need a little hand sanding on it, but basically it's good. And I got rid of all them ugly welds across there. Started working on a few more little spots, but I mean, there's a lot of little stuff that's going to take some work. This door is the worst side. Obviously this was the 5-piece door, but I'm getting it pretty straight. Got the roof, I worked on it a little, straightened it up. I've been putting my bondo here in the front. It was left over. It's getting it really straight. I'll have to sand it. I've used most of this gallon here already. Well, I don't know if it's a gallon. 3 quarts anyway. So I ordered another one. I won't use all of it on this door, but quite a bit of it. And the trunk's going to take some. I've sort of worked on this area here with my spare bondo. I've got this built up. I have to sand it down. This piece here is pretty straight now. So shouldn't take as much work on this side, and I'll do the same thing down here with this door. It's not closing because it's hitting the floorboard, and I need a little more work here too, and of course this. But basically a day's work on this side here, and it was a little difficult because I had to match stuff and cut stuff out. It wasn't like just filling dents, but looks real good. Back here, see how it's starting to look real straight. Yeah, it'll look a lot better than it really is. Well, not really, I guess. The metal is close, but this bondo's gonna finish it off real good, and I can put a good paint job on it, and I think we'll be good to go. I'm getting tired of bondo work. The only real labor work I left that is left is to pull that transmission out, rebuild it. That'll be subject of another video, but day on this door made it look a whole lot better. Well, I decided I'd do something about this body line. My arms are tired of slinging bondo. So what I did, I took a piece of a remnant. You can see it laying there. There was about 3/8 of an inch wide, and I just tacked it on here from that one body line coming up to this other one. Of course, it's way too thick, but I'm going to take a flapper disc and take that whole thing down there until it's about the thickness of the body line. See what that looks like. Well, good morning, guys. I did a lot of this bondo on the side and the door, and pretty much got that knocked out. And so today I've got this whatever it is here, door. I don't have it fixed in the back, so I need to weld something in there for the latch. And also here on the trunk, I don't have a latch on it. I bought a little Volkswagen thumb presser latch, so I need to fix that, and I need to put some kind of a stop in here for the for the trunk, and get the final resting place for it, and then I can work on this bondo in here, get the gaps sorted out. So both of them take a little measuring and engineering to get a stop in them, and once I get that done, then I can go ahead and just kind of finish on this side. I can bondo up this, get the door gap straight, get whatever gaps I've got going on up here sorted out, and just kind of get this rear quarter of the car. I still don't know about the paint. You know, I've got that kind of cranberry looking thing in there. It don't look too bad. But I was looking on eBay for paint, and I found some, oh, I know, burgundy. And I was just thinking, you know, that it's a dark burgundy color, and just thinking whether that would be good with the blue, and I found a dark blue that I liked. So kind of kicking around here with a burgundy paint on the bottom, or dark blue, or whether I should might look good with dark blue and a burgundy top. We'll see. Give me a comment, tell me what you think. Well, this was rusted pretty bad, and I had a big old plate on here, so I cut the plate off, ground it down. I sprayed it with this super strong rust converter. You're supposed to get it wet and then put it on, so I did that. And then when you're done, you flush it off with water. So that's what I did. It's still a little wet. It got rid of some of these fumes, but it some places it gives a white stuff. I don't know, zinc oxide probably. But I rinsed it all down real good. I used a paint spray gun with just water in it, and what I did here was I just put a plate, and I put a little stop up here on top. You see it hits that, and just hold it open a little too much, you can see there. But when you tighten up the key on this plate, it pulls it in flush. So there's a stop on this, and it'll be all right. Let's see, I'll put a key in it just to show you. See, we got like a 1/4 of an inch there on top. And we're almost flat. Well, it's still open. I guess I gotta go this way. There we go. Now we're almost flush. So this is flush here. It's all close enough to throw some bondo on it. The panel itself is not real straight, but this thing is with the key in it, it just falls down. You gotta pull the key out right there. See, I still got some pressure on it, and I've got this little thing here. It's really not super tight, and I can bend that a little, so that'll be good enough. This little square piece up in here's giving me a spring pressure on it, and I don't know where else it's hitting here. But I don't really have any inside edge to it. We'll see. Maybe I'll figure out some way to put some rubber or something in it. But for now, it goes up here, locks, and the key comes out. Good enough. Leave it open and let it dry. And I started working on this, trying to figure out where I can put a stop on it. And if I put a stop up here, I can weld this onto the half-inch piece of square tubing in here. It'll stick down right about here somewhere, and this would be a good bump stop. I can make some kind of a plate right here that this will hit. So just have to get up in here and decide on a place and weld this in and press on with making this one. Alright, we're looking at it from the inside. You can see that little bracket I welded in there sticking down. I just tacked it in, but it looks like it's in a good place. I'm going to have to fabricate something. Everything that we see there is part of the trunk. I didn't weld that too good in there. It's upside down looking into the light. Anyway, I got a couple good welds on it. So I'm going to have to make something that comes out from over here. Comes out and then bends over, that this can hit. Don't really have anything solid in there. Just that one plate that goes across on the tailpiece. Putting the plate on this little thin thing here, I could bolt it. I don't know. I don't want to have something big and ugly hanging out there. So that's about an inch away from the edge of the trunk gap, and about an inch back at the bottom of the trunk. Let's see what that looks like outside. Well, here's our little bracket, and here's this thin piece that I was talking about. So I got to get some kind of flat plate that comes across here and then bends over, that this will set on. It's not going to be real strong, and it's going to be sticking out an inch. It's Kind of bad on a trunk, have a sharp piece sticking up like that. If I use this bottom of this, I can bring another piece straight out. You know, that might be the better idea. Just use one flat piece going up into this 1-inch piece here. That's our 2-inch wide piece. That might be a little better idea. Rather than try to bring something over and then bend it up, or bring it down and then bend it. I'd have a bracket hanging out here. The other way, there would just be a flat tab coming straight out of here. Six of one, half a dozen of the other. But if I had a flat tab, I could also tack it onto this edge here, and that would give me 2 places. It would be a lot stronger. Let's see what I got. I think a 2-inch piece of metal might work. Well, with all my genius fabricating skills, this is the best I could come up with. I got it welded pretty solid here and solid into this 1-inch brace. It's too wide. I need to cut it here in half, and I'll probably just cut it off at an angle, because this bracket up here only hits on the right half of it. But I got it set there where it'll hold the trunk where I want it. It's plenty strong. Got it just right about the top of this. The reason why that one's a little low, but I'll do the same thing with this one, and we'll pull this up so piece of angle into the top, straight piece in the bottom, and we'll be good to go. This over here dried. This new rust converter leaves that white phosphate on it. So I think what I'm going to do with this, I've got undercoating I'm trying to put on everything. The rust is stopped, and the undercoating can be painted. It's this stuff right here, Rust-Oleum. You don't really just pour it on, it goes on kind of like paint, and it dries like paint. So I'm going to go ahead and just undercoat everything that I used that rust converter on. Well, that's pretty good. We got this just below the top. This one just below the top. We got a little bracket there, little bracket there. They're just barely hitting right here at the bend, and goes onto this bracket and that bracket. I gotta bend them around a little, but that's really solid. Close good. Wound up pulling this out, you know, 1/4 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch, but the edge matches good on both sides. Have to fill this one a little, and I can bend this out a little bit. My kind of high right here, but I had that problem before. I can fill this ridge up here. This one here is good. It's a little higher, maybe right here, but where it comes in at the end, it's all matching. It's just sort of a compromise to get it on and straight, and that's what I got. So now I still haven't figured out how to put this latch in, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. And if we look at this from the inside, I'm going to have to bend my brackets a little. You can see that one there. Let's see if I can zoom here for you. Maybe. There we go. Where am I? There we go. The bracket's just hitting the edge of that, the big one. So I got to cut that left half off. And I'll probably just cut it at a diagonal. And I'll have to, because it's in that tin, I'll have to heat that top bracket and bend it forward a little bit, and basically the same thing goes over there with that one. What I did, I screwed up. I put the driver's side bracket on the outside or the back of that 1/2-inch tube, and up here I really didn't have room. I just filled around in there and I put it on the front of the tube. So those two brackets are 1/2 inch apart. Yeah. Anyway, they're in and they hit the stop where it's at, and it's holding it. Now I'm just a little bit of cutting and welding and a little bending, and those will look good and be plenty strong. So yeah, I get to take that 90 out of that top bracket, just make it straight, and then maybe put a little, I don't know if I can put a 90 on it the other way. That's what it really would need on both of them. We'll see. If I had a torch, it wouldn't be a problem. I could just heat it up real quick, red hot, bend it. But with a MAP gas, I don't know. I'm probably going to have to use a clamp or something, heat it up and clamp it to get it straight, because I can't really hammer in there. And I can't just twist on it. Anyway, that's a problem for another day, making these match. It's in and straight. Now I bend out that middle and put a lock in it. See what that looks like.